precisely 1:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Edited by Catherine Pereira. Read by Sabrina Zawahir. The headlines. The government assures that SOFA and MCC agreements will not be signed. A demarcation committee to revise new divisional secretariat divisions and Grama Niladhari divisions. Hatton Town has been isolated. The number of COVID-19 cases reported in the country rises to 8,413. A special program to prevent the spread of coronavirus with the support of all sections. Minister Namal Rajapaksa says next budget will be prepared to give priority to develop rural areas. And in international news, Amy Coney Barrett confirmed to US Supreme Court. The local news now in detail. Minister Keheli Rambukwella says that a decision has been taken to appoint a demarcation committee to revise new divisional secretariat divisions and Grama Niladhari divisions. The minister stated this at a meeting to inform the cabinet's decision, which was held today. It is expected to enroll most students to universities. Under the program to enroll 100,000 students to universities per year, as the first step decision has been taken to enroll 8,500 students. The minister also stated that it will be increased by 25%. Minister Uday Gamanpilla said 20 megawatts of power will be added to the main power plant in Mannar. Therefore, 120 megawatts will be added to the national grid. He also spoke about the arrival of U.S. State Secretary Mike Pompeo. The task force appointed to pay salaries of private sector regarding the agreement they reached from last May to September will be implemented until December. He also stated that the SOFA and MCC agreements will not be signed. Participating in the cabinet briefing, Minister Ramesh Patirana says that a decision has been taken to sign an agreement to obtain grants from India. These grants will be utilized to implement projects for the low-income families. The cabinet approval has received for the proposal presented by the foreign minister to establish embassy offices in Romania and Spain. The cabinet approval has also received to increase the loan provided to the small industrial development up to 100,000 rupees to 1 million. This proposal was presented by Minister Namal Rajapaksa. At present, 8,413 COVID-19 cases have been reported in the country. According to the reports issued by the Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health, 4,464 infected persons are receiving treatment in hospitals. 3,933 persons left from the hospital after receiving complete recovery. Former Health Services Director General Sridharan says the government has implemented a systematic program to prevent the spread of COVID-19 with the support of all sections. Participating in the Subharati program of the SLBC, he requested the public to support this program. He said there is nothing to be feared. The guidelines given by the health sector should be followed. Conducting of PCR tests is being carried out successfully. Participating in the program, Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva stated that the quarantine process will be carried out in utmost level. The quarantine will be carried out in their houses. He requests the public to fulfill their responsibilities correctly. Deputy Director General of Health Services, a specialist in public health, Dr. Hemanta Herath, said that measures have been taken to minimize the spread of the virus among the public. The complication of the virus for elders are in high level. Therefore, it is important to pay their attention on health guidelines. Youth and Sports Minister Namal Rajapaksa says that the next budget will be prepared giving priority for the development in rural areas through the state machinery. At present, responsibilities have been entrusted to cabinet ministers to accelerate the government development move. He said the government's objective is to strengthen the economy of the rural community expected by the President and the Prime Minister. He made these remarks participating in a national program to uplift rural economy held in Anuradhapura today. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing local news, 46 persons have been taken into custody over the violating of quarantine curfew rules during the last 24 hours ended at 6 a.m. today. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that 7 vehicles have also been taken over. Meanwhile, 1,122 persons have been taken into custody regarding the violation of curfew rules since 4th of last month, and 163 vehicles have been taken over. The Colombo Fort Magistrates Court has rejected MP Rishad Baduddin's bail application. Accordingly, the parliamentarian has been remanded until the 10th of November. Ratana Sutara is chanted from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. at all temples in the country. It has been organized by the Ministry of Cultural and Religious Affairs and Department of Buddhist Affairs, led by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Reciting of Ratana Sutara will take place to minimize the impact of the coronavirus and other problems which have an influence on civilian life. The SLBC, Ministry of Religious Affairs, and the Department of Buddhist Affairs requests all chief monks of the temples to relay the Ratana Sutara using loudspeakers. It will conclude on Vap Full Moon Poya Day, which falls on next Friday. Bank of Ceylon, National Lotteries Board, Development Lotteries Board, Amrita of Dali Butler are supporting the program. With that, we end the local news. The main news story follows.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Commander of Army, Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva, told the SLBC that Hatton Town has been declared as an isolated area. The move comes as a measure to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Reports reveal that 10 more positive cases of COVID-19 were identified from the Hatton Town today. Accordingly, no person will be permitted to enter or leave the areas designated as isolated. It was reported last Sunday that a vendor at the Hatton Weekly Fair who had purchased stocks of fish from Pahaliyagoda Fish Market was exposed to the virus. That came to you in our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Watchlight, the buses are operating from the main bus stand of Imaduwa in the Gaul Deniai Road. The buses will operate to 3 directions from Ahangama. The commuters in the area pointed out that the signboards for these 3 directions entering to Ahangama have not been fixed. Therefore, the commuters request the relevant authorities to fix these signboards. That was a look at Watchlight. A bulletin of world news follows. The headlines of the world news. Amy Coney Barrett confirmed to U.S. Supreme Court. WHO concerns over COVID-19 surge in Europe. Armenia, Azerbaijan mark 1 month of conflict. The world news now in detail. The U.S. Senate has confirmed Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court in a victory for President Donald Trump a week before the general election. Mr. Trump's fellow Republicans voted 52-48 to approve the judge, overcoming the unified opposition of Democrats. The 48-year-old took the oath at office at the White House alongside President Trump. Her appointment seals for the foreseeable future as 6-3 conservative majority on the top U.S. judicial body. Only one Republican, Senator Susan Collins, who faces a tough re-election battle in Maine, voted against the president's nominee in last evening's vote. The World Health Organization has expressed concern that Europe's latest wave of coronavirus infections is increasingly difficult to contain. The head of the WHO Health Emergencies Program, Michael Ryan, spoke to reporters in Geneva yesterday. He said they are seeing very, very high positivity rates and an increasing lack of capacity to do any effective form of contact tracing. But it is a technical lead for the coronavirus response, Maria Vankova said nationwide lockdowns will not be necessary if everyone plays their part. Fighting between Azerbaijan and Armenia has continued a month after the conflict erupted, despite 3 rounds of humanitarian ceasefires. The latest flare-up over the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region began on September 27th. The enclave in Azerbaijan is mainly populated by ethnic Armenians. The death toll released by the 2 former Soviet republicans has reached 1,076, including 102 civilians. But Russian President Vladimir Putin said last Thursday that Moscow has information that the number of fatalities is close to 5,000. That ends world news and the headlines of the foreign news once again. Amy Coney Barrett confirmed to U.S. Supreme Court. WHO concerns over COVID-19 surge in Europe. Armenia, Azerbaijan mark 1 month of conflict. That concludes the world news. Next up is the development news.
Development News is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan නෙවෙයි.
Minister Mahindananda Amaraveera has decided to entrust the responsibilities to the district secretariats, divisional secretaries and the Grama Niladaris to safeguard the 103 rivers under the Surakimu Ganga program initiated by the Ministry of Environment. The aim of this move is to minimize the environmental hazards being carried out in the vicinity of rivers. That ends Development News.
When Tati bought a new family car, it wasn't just for the 4 of us.
It's a 10-seater van. Enough for friends and relatives too.
Mummy insisted on building an extra room in our new house.
Well, you never know who'll come to stay. We need more pillows too.
When I was studying late, Nangi would come by to help.
No, I don't know physics, but I do know you need a Munchie Super Cream Cracker.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others.
When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves.
Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan නෙවෙයි.
Sports News is brought to you by
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
Lanka Premier League will boost cricketing interest among young cricketers in the island nation and offer real opportunities in the future, feels Jaffna Stallions franchise CEO Selva Warren. Lanka Premier League is scheduled to be played from November 21st to December 13th, 2020 at Pallakale and Hambantota. Thisara Pereira, Dwavid Malan, Wanindu Hasaranga, Shoaib Malik and Usman Shinwari are some of the key players picked in the players' draft by the team. The team has also picked 3 homegrown talented youngsters from Jaffna, Thivendaram Dinoshan, Vijayakant Visayakant and Kanagaratnam Kabil Raj in the squad. That was Sports News. Next up is the business news.
Hey guys, we've got our very own Queen Bear here to review something for us.
Okay, here we go.
It's the right amount of crunch and OMG, so much chocolate. The texture is so good. It's creamy and velvety and just so much chocolate. The packaging is super cool and new and there's like so much chocolate. And OMG, the taste, it tastes like so good and there's so much chocolate. Like with every bite. 10 out of 10 for me.
Munchie Chocolate Cream Biscuit. Chocolate in every bite.
Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Calling on Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa in Colombo yesterday morning, the ambassador to Switzerland in Colombo, Dominic Fegler, discussed a number of areas to further improve the cooperation between the two countries, including investment, exports, tourism, and fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. This is also a part of collaboration to try to revive tourism to Sri Lanka once the situation improves. Towards that end, the Swiss government has also provided technical assistance to the Sri Lanka Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management to upgrade infrastructure, providing training and develop the curriculum. That ends Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Economic news. Courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh, no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The government has paid attention to give priority to sell local produce through the Satosa outlets. Minister Douglas Devananda stated that a discussion in this regard will be held with the Minister Bandula Gunawardena soon. Measures have been taken to purchase dried fish, canned fish and other seafood items for Satosa outlets. That came to you in Economic News.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down. Everything is sorted. Why? I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, it's a look at the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in Uva, eastern, north central and northwestern provinces and in Hambantota, Mannar, Mullaitivu, Vaunia and Matale districts after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy falls above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places, particularly in Uva province and in Ampara district. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during the thunder showers. Showers may occur at a few places in western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in Gaul and Matara districts. That was the weather report, and prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. The government assures that SOFA and MCC agreements will not be signed. A demarcation committee to revise new divisional secretariats, divisions and Grama Niladhari divisions. Hatton town has been isolated. The number of COVID-19 cases reported in the country rises to 8,413. A special program to prevent the spread of coronavirus with the support of all sections. Minister Namal Rajapaksa says next budget will be prepared to give priority to develop rural areas.